In this video, we'll be talking about economic systems. In every economic system, there are three aspects: who owns the property, how are questions answered, and what is the motivation to follow that system. When we say how are questions answered, the questions we're talking about are what is produced, how is it produced, and whom is it produced for. So the three systems we're going to talk about are capitalism, which is currently used in the US, socialism, which is currently used in Sweden, and the United Order, which is God's economy, basically. So first, capitalism. In capitalism, who owns the property? That would be corporations, businesses, and individuals. Basically, if you can pay for it, you can have it. The basic questions of what is produced and how and whom for are answered by free exchange, and the goods are directed by supply and demand. The motivation to live under capitalism is a desire for wealth, economic freedom, and the desire to work and be creative. For socialism, property is owned by the state, the people, and collective ownership. The questions are answered by government agencies and bureaucracies, and it's motivated by a desire for economic equality and security. For the United Order, you'll notice that there are lots of similarities between the United Order and capitalism with just a few tweaks. But as far as who owns the property, it's the same as in capitalism: corporations, businesses, and individuals. The questions are answered again by free exchange. The goods are directed by supply and demand. But in this system, priesthood direction will sometimes come into play for community projects. The motivation to live under the United Order is a love of God, a desire to be obedient, a love of neighbor, and a desire to work and create. Now let's look at these three systems in comparison to each other. The United Order is obviously the best way because it's God's way, but it necessitates a rise in public virtue, and it's prevented from being implemented today because of greed and selfishness. Under the United Order, there's quite a bit of accountability, and hard work is rewarded. It's the same in capitalism. Hard work is rewarded and people are motivated, but sometimes that motivation can be because of greed. In socialism, however, there's not a lot of motivation because there's no reward for hard work. Statistically, capitalism has beaten socialism. Some of the perks of capitalism are the atmosphere of freedom that exists, the incentive, the harder you work, the more you get, hypothetically, the miracle of exchange. It works in harmony with basic human nature, and it works in a natural way to allocate resources, as well as it naturally controls prices and profits through supply and demand. So in conclusion, the three systems are capitalism, socialism, and the United Order. Capitalism is all about hard work and reward, as is the United Order, but the United Order is also motivated by love of God. And socialism is all about equality, and there's no private ownership. So that's just a little bit about economic systems.